What's going on, everybody? So today we are going to do some turbo swapping. I have a BorgWarner S480 110 AR turbo on my truck right now. My buddy, his truck is down. He's doing a complete front end change up on it, new motor, stuff like that. So he has VS Racing's V2 S485 with race cover and billet wheels. So he goes, hey, let's see what that does on your 6-liter. So stick around, we're gonna swap some turbos. So since haven't really shown much of my truck on the engine bay side, I'll go ahead and give a quick rundown. So this here is my BorgWarner 480, and we're gonna pop that loose. I will have to make a pipe that goes from here to down in there for my connection. But this is just your run-of-the-mill 6-liter. Got a H-beam rods, Y-scope pistons, all the fun stuff. Full return fuel rail system. Got a Summit balancer on it, which helped out tremendously. And this little bad boy right here, see if I can get a good picture of it. ICT billet tensioner. Well worth its money. But bigger alternator, fuel filter. This here is my fuel pressure sensor to my HP tuners. This is tied into the fuel tank pressure sensor. Another fuel pressure sensor for the gauge I have in the cab. Taylor wires. Snake Eater 1500cc injectors. Stock throttle body. All that good stuff. Truck runs on speed density and mass airflow, so there's my cool mass airflow adapter, card style. Durali electric fans. They are controlled by the ECM. These are awesome fans. They're really worth the money. They really move some air, but you will have to go with the big boy alternator to run them. So that is pretty much the gist of my engine bay. So anyway, we're gonna get started and we're gonna get this turbo pulled off and go from there. So I figured I'd give you a little side-by-side comparison of these things. VS BorgWarner. So as you saw, there's the impeller housing for the BorgWarner. There's the impeller for the compressor wheel, I guess I should say, for the VS. BorgWarner is measuring like at 80 millimeter, dead on, and this will be kind of tricky to get, but about 115 on the big side. We're right at 85 on the big end, and about 125 on the tip of the compressor wheel. So there is a substantial amount of airflow difference. I'm not going to pull the rear housings apart. I'm sure they're probably stuck. So anyway, I did want to just show that and let y'all see, just for fun. Doesn't even go on. So we will be putting that back together because I'm going to set that on the shelf because I do have to give this one back, unfortunately. But we are going to go make some pulls with it, do some tuning on it. So we'll see what happens from there. But until then, I think since I got this thing off, I'm going to do the plugs on that truck, so stick around. So as you can see, I've got a lot of real estate now, but with this turbo, you really can't hardly get to the plugs on this truck, on this side. So since everything's off, I think I'm going to try to put plugs and stuff on this truck. I've had a set of plugs sitting on my shelf since November, so we'll give it a look, see, and go from there. I think that's going to be the tough side. And, well, at least there's nothing really in the way over here, so we'll give that a shot. All right, so I got the spark plugs out of this bad boy, and as you can see, I pretty much had to disassemble pretty much most of my downpipe and wastegate and all that stuff to get there. Unfortunately, I had a few fatalities. Two of my Taylor wires ripped the coupler out of the boot, and it was on the spark plug. So let's take a moment to remember how good these Taylor wires were, but not real happy with them. This is the first time I actually pulled them off to do plugs on this truck in like a year, and not real happy about that. Good news, spark plugs have all their straps on them. So Kyle, if you're watching this, I learned to tune from you. Speaking of that, so I'll take a quick breather and take a break from this little project because I'm trying to get it done in the morning because it's going to be so hot. It's Oklahoma. It sucks. So anyway, mentioned tuning on this new turbo, mentioned tuning just a second ago. If you have HP tuners, even if you have Holly, any of the Holly software, go check out my buddy Kyle at Goat Rope Garage on YouTube. Go to tuning101.com. It'll take you straight to his YouTube channel. It has a ton of instructional videos, a lot of generation specific categories, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. I know right now he's in the process of putting in a new built L83, I think what they call it, in the Gen 5 trucks with an F1 on it. He's doing some really cool stuff over there. He's integrating micro squirt on a direct injection motor and stuff like that. He's got a Cadillac XLR, I think what they are, those Corvette looking Cadillacs, Project Country Club as it's called, integrated Holly Terminator X, along with the standalone transmission controller because it's got an odd transmission in it, along with a piggybacked factory ECM to run gauges and things like that. He's hacked CAN bus on it. He's done some really, really cool stuff with some of these vehicles. The guy's really sharp, so if you're looking for good tuning information, go check him out. It's it's worth your time. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to learn to tune, or you're going to decide that it's not for you. I picked it up because with a turbo vehicle, you're always doing something, and I figured it was time for me to learn, so that's what I did, and that's where I picked up all my stuff. He does a live show on Thursday nights on YouTube. Look him up, find him. We all kind of hang out, chat, have a good time. So if you need some tuning help, need some tuning information, go check out Goat Rope Garage and tuning101.com. Since we're doing spark plugs, another thing I was going to show you, I am running the NGK, you can't read that, it's all backwards on my camera, but 5238 NGK. They're an R5671A-9. That's where everybody refers to like NGKs as -9s, -10s, stuff like that. This is about a 2 or 3 step colder plug than what I have been running. I know a lot of people are running the BR7 EFs. I think I've got one of those. I'll show you one of those. I had one, even though I don't use them anymore. BR7 EF, standard non-projected plug. Difference between it and your -9, you have this little tapered crush sleeve. Cool thing about that is I learned this trick from a friend of mine at Chris Bell's over at Bell's Motorsports. When you put these -9s in a head and torque them down correctly, they index perfectly for the appropriate combustion mix, the indexing. I'm not real familiar about the indexing, but I do know it's a good thing. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking for plugs and stuff like this. Got these at my local speed shop, which I'm fixing to go visit here in just a bit for some new plug wires. So anyway, I don't even remember what I've been gapping my other plugs at. It's been so long, but I think I'm somewhere in like 22, 25 range. So old plug with a strap still. Well, 25 is a little loose, so it may be it may have been about a 28. So let me see if I can find something that resembles that. Feeler gauges, I'm not a big fan, but they work good. I need to find those cool ones that they have where they just had like looks like a pair of pliers, and they stick it in there and they cramp it where they want it. Yep, 28's about where I got it. So 25 and an 03 stacked, dead on right there. So anyway, so I'm gonna gap these and get these back in the truck, and then we're gonna head to CSS and see what we can find when it comes to plug wires. So we'll catch you here in a bit. All right, everyone, we are back in business. Ended up picking up a set of these fire core plug wires, and here's the unboxing. They only come with 2 wires. Sorry, everybody. No, just kidding. Built real well. Good end on them. Truck end and everything like that. Got a couple of them on the truck already. They do fit the little heat sleeves that I have bought for them. Just a pinch tight. I think I would have probably liked to have had them just a little bit longer, but these will work. They clear the header and everything, and I got one on the other side already. And you know, just basic simple plug wires, nothing magical about them. But anyway, from what CSS was telling me about these, they are top-notch wires. These are kind of the best on the market right now from what I'm hearing. And the customer service on them are outstanding. So anyway, find you a set of fire cores. We'll see how they work out. So I got the pipe from the turbo to the intercooler completed. Turbo is in place, so let that cool for a few minutes. I'm gonna take a break, and then we'll put this thing back together and see if it'll start. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the new VS 485 is on the truck. I wish I had a turbo blanket, but mine has taken a dump and it's time to get a new one. So I'm going to go take this thing for a spin around the block and see what she does. Alright, well, taking the truck on the voyage. We'll see what it does. Just a pinch laggy compared to the 480, but all in all, I think the thing is actually pretty good. Feels really strong. You know, I don't want to really get onto this thing too much. I ain't gonna take it out on the road just yet. Let it run around and stuff like that, but hell, it's 101 degrees outside. I don't want to give it too much. So just a quick cruise around the neighborhood just to burn off the handprint oil and all that stuff. So then we'll later tonight we'll go out and take it for a spin when it's a little bit cooler and try it out and see what we think. So what's going on, everybody? It's the day after. It's a lot cooler. It's like 20 degrees cooler. So I'm out driving around. I'm gonna get some data on this turbo and see what it's doing. Gotta go get some fuel, so that'll get a chance to have the truck warmed up and everything so we can go make some passes. So anyway, so right now it's sitting relatively okay for not actually having anything done to it right now, just other than the regular old tune that the S480 had on it, which I don't think there'll be a huge amount of difference in that on the fueling at idle and stuff like that, because they just don't make any steam. So, but you know, like I said, we'll see what it does here in just a few when I get out on the road and get on it just a bit. We're gonna go get some fuel, some good old E85. So it doesn't feel too bad. Looks like I'm really lean all over the place, but we'll throw some fuel at it after we get to the gas station. So stick around. So she's making about 13 pounds of boost. My wastegate was loose on the other when I swapped this thing out, so I'm wondering if I had a bad boost creep issue or something like that, and that's why I was getting 18 pounds. So we're fixing to jump on the old interstate here, get us some numbers and see what happens, and cruise on back to the house. Go from there. Yep, 13 pounds. I definitely think I had some issues on that other turbo. So, but then again, you know, much larger turbo, so it may be the fact that 18 pounds on the 480 is 13 on this big one. So definitely feel like the 18 pounds on the 480 was more than the 13 on this one. So I may go bump this thing up a little bit and see what it does and start getting this fueling set up right. So anyway, so cylinder charge temperature bias question, you know, it's had some questions on that. Asked Kyle about it. He's like, well, he goes, that complex enable switch on the Gen 3s, he goes, just disable it. There's no point in having it on there. Set your bias to the intake air temp sensor. So basically you just zero that out across the board, and by doing that it looks like everything has just made this thing extremely rich, so which is good because now I can tune back up for we're gonna head on back to the house and check everything out after that shakedown pass, and we'll go from there. So stick around. So here's my wrap up for the S485 swap. It's a direct swap. Everything bolted right in place from the 480. The 480 did seem to spool up a whole lot faster, but you know, it's got a 110 AR, you know, so it's going to get up there versus this. I think this is a 132 AR, so it's going to spin up a little bit faster and everything. I'm not running as much boost, so that may explain some of the richness that I'm seeing in this. So if I turn the boost up, I may be going right back to where I was at and adjusting some things out. But other than that, it pulls strong. You know, I think I can throw some timing at it and add a little bit of low end to it. But other than that, direct swap. It's a good turbo. I don't really want to drive it too much. I don't have a turbo blanket. Mine kind of fell apart. The one I had, it's about 5 years old, so it's had its life done. So I've got one coming. It should be here like Thursday. So hopefully by then I'll have like a follow-up for that, you know, call this part 1 and go from there. But other than that, you know, everything seems to be running fine. Nothing banging or clanking or nothing caught on fire. That was the fun part. So I ended up having to rewrap one of my downpipe pieces because it kind of just got shredded over time. So it's probably what I'm smelling, a little bit of that burn off on that. Some more handle stuff that you get from dealing with cast. But other than that, you know, I think it's a good swap. You know, I think it really works good on the 6-liter. I know this turbo originally, when he bought it, it was on his 4.8 liter, and he was running a 5-inch downpipe, and it really, he just said he couldn't get it to get on the 2-step. He couldn't get it to build boost on the line. He's got the Holly system on his truck and everything, so I think just that 4.8 just could not produce the velocity that he needed, despite the fact that it was actually kind of a high compression ratio engine. So you know, as for mine, you know, it's like a 10.5 to 1 compression 6-liter. So with the 317 heads on it, you know, slap a set of 243s on this thing and it may be a 11.5, 12 to 1 compression. God. But anyway, so the 480 versus the 485, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot. I think the 485, this 485 from VS, I think it has a lot of potential, especially in this truck, as heavy as it is. So hopefully I'll get some more runs on this thing and see what it does. And you know, looking over the data and everything, like I said, I did change a few things, and it did really richen this truck up because everything's going on IATs. So you know, I'm about, around cruise speed and everything, I'm about 15 to 20% rich. You know, getting up top, looking at it, you know, I'm about somewhere about 10% rich. So no harm, no foul. I can bring that down and help that thing out some. But other than that, at this point in time, you know, seems like it's in a good shape. So we're gonna call this a success. And you know, like I said, I got this for about 2 or 3 weeks. So in 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be changing us all back to the old one, and I'll probably go, man, this turbo sucks. I better buy another bigger one. So anyway, y'all guys have a good 4th of July. I'm gonna go cool off, let this truck cool off for a bit, and we're just gonna go from there. And if you like what you're seeing, if you want some more content, give me some ideas, let me know what you got on your mind. Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. I don't have a whole lot of videos coming out. I do work a lot. It's been hot, and I don't want to get out in the garage because it sucks. I may be changing out my turbo feed oil line. I've got a new piece I want to bolt on. May take a stab at that here in a little while. But other than that, y'all guys have a good one. Stay safe and have fun. Catch you later.